Hi YouTube, it's Bobski coming at you from Darkwind War on Wheels. Last time you saw me set up my scout and introduce everybody. I have just rolled that scout and this is what I've pulled. I have pulled just about 20 bad guys, which is quite a low turnout for me. Sometimes these guys can pull up to 30. I'm just going to explain my layout. I usually have the BPU in a flanking position or harassing. Generally, he's too low a credit rating to take much enemy attention. Now, what I like to do is, let's turn off the follow cam. Right, the red fire engine, here's a mortar weapon. Now, to learn the maps and where they're going to spawn, you're just going to have to play a lot of Darkwind, I'm afraid. But in my experience, tells me that the bad guys are going to be in front of me. So what I will do is I will put the ballistic weapons at the back, and then I'll put the armoured guys at the front. Now, with my buzzer formation, I like, rather than have them next to each other, I like to slope them. Now, this is because when they U-turn, they're less likely to get in each other's way. So just form a little diagonal line, and then should leave enough room for him to turn around as well. Move him a little bit back. Now, I could well be ambushed here, which is, as I've said before, my scout isn't that great and he has had some really bad luck. As always, assign your gunners early. Especially with this many cars, otherwise the game's going to have started and you're going to be spending, oh my god, I need to get these gunners assigned. Here we go. And I don't assign all of these side guns and everything. I just kind of assign my main guns. I will think about that later if I'm going to need those other weapons. And that is everybody assigned. Now let's tap in and see where these bad guys are. There you go. As I said, right in front of me. They're actually facing away from me as well, so it's an even better situation to be in. Let's just go through what we've got. Because the other thing I will do is in my Badlands scouts, let me just do a timeout for now, is I do not loot everything. My first encounter, I will take like the really good stuff. So the really good stuff here is pretty much nothing. I mean, the quick draw, BPU, that's okay. I think he has a car cannon and a paint gun, I think, on him. Yeah, car cannon and paint gun. So he's going to be a bit of a problem because paint is a bit of a nightmare. But otherwise, there's nothing really here that is worth looting. I mean, the Gallo glass is okay. The Hellfire, just because it's got an anti-tank gun. So, I'm looking at maybe looting 2, maybe 3 cars. Now, you might think that's a bit of a waste, leaving all of these wrecked cars there. But to be honest, you're going to be risking your drivers because you're more likely to obviously get a return in Badlands. And I like to be in a situation where I can fight it or run away. And if you've got loads of cars that have got knackered engines that are damaged, it's going to be harder for them to actually run away with. Now let's just set everybody on my spin around. I'm actually going to assign my mortar target early. I'm going to choose somebody in the middle, because with mortars I generally just fire for the biggest concentration of bad guys, because you're going to miss, but a miss with a mortar in a big group, you're going to hit somebody. And just tap it in. So there you go. See what I mean about the buzzers? Nobody's in each other's way. And there you go. They will all turn at slightly different rates because obviously the skill of their drivers. I'm going to assign my tank gun, and I want to get this quick draw down and out of the way as quick as possible, because paint is a real problem. It can really snag up your firing, and if you're a couple of shots missing, especially with something with low ammo like a tank gun, that can almost win or lose you the game. There you you go, everybody's turned round. Tank gun is now facing the right way. I'm just going to leave the handbrake on for an extra turn, just to settle him down. Let's see what I mean. The handbrake's on and they're nice, but you take them off, the back kind of spins out. So I'm going to leave the handbrakes on, just going to bring them to a complete stop almost. My mortars have actually found their target already. Mortars have a range of about 220 metres, 207. I'm going to open fire with them straight away. And my napalm, I'm going to set a napalm puddle about here. Now, as I said, what I do, right click on the terrain and just target napalm. And I spread them out a little bit. Now this is probably beyond their maximum range, but they will, you know, get as close to it as they possibly can. And while they're driving away, they're actually moving the napalm kind of up the road this way. Let's tap in, see what happens. There's my ballistics off its way. Let's see where they land. Look at that. You know, the first hit, damage on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemy cars. Okay, it's only minor damage, but it's minor bottom damage. And as you know, most car bottom armor is only, you know, 5, 6 points. So another few rounds like that, and I'm going to have penetrated their armor already. Let's just check. No purple, 170 meters. Okay, I'm going to assign him a target now because he's got the laser. He can be hitting at a longer range. Now, what I haven't done is I haven't told you my plan. Now, you all know that I tend to run away, but I am only going to run away to about here. And this is where a bottleneck is going to occur, and I'll be able to get all my guns firing at them. But obviously I need to get my ballistics cars just slightly ahead of that. Actually, I might stop it here, say. And then my ballistics cars kind of just in front of that. And I'm going to leave the BPU up here, because to get out of line of sight, all he has to do is reverse a little bit. Let's take these handbrakes off and start getting formed up in a formation. Yep. And off we go. So we've all moved quite well. Here come more mortars. Only 2 cars hit that time, but you know, a little top armour, a little bit of left armour damage. The napalm is almost bang on target. Okay, just straighten these guys up. Take his handbrake off. Now, even though he's at 165 metres, you know, he's not going to hit. But it's a tank gun. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fire a shot. See what happens almost. You know, the splash damage, if he misses, you know, the likelihood he's going to hurt somebody. You know, if he misses and shoots way up or way into the ground, well, I've wasted 1 ammo. I can live with that. Yeah, it fell short. It was worth a try. You see what I mean? The napalm is almost creeping now. You know, another nice mortar hit. Away we go again. I'm trying to make this as quick as possible so it doesn't go into too many videos, but you know, generally I allow an hour to play one of these scouts. Napalm hits first. Mortar. 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 That's because one of the guys has just got his rapid shot on, and you can see that is just dispersing this. Their speed, you know, 22 miles an hour at the back. You know, they have picked up no speed at all after that U-turn. It's just unfortunate that the first bad guy coming at me is going to be the BPU. The reason I say that's unfortunate is because that's the one car I would like to loot, and the first car that comes at you generally dies first. And as you can see, 170 metres, and I've got purple on this laser already, so he's going to open fire with that. And I will just show you how the battery works and what it goes down. Let's just check my paint gun. Now, paint will block laser shots, so I'm going to hold off on the paint for a little while. Let's see what the napalm and mortars and the laser does. There's mortars in the air. Laser, 170 metres hit, moderate damage to his front. So, you know, yeah, it might have taken 5, maybe 6 points of armour off in one hit. Now, what will have happened is, there you go, you can see the battery. I've lost probably, not 20%, but probably about 15% of my laser battery has been used. So if I was to stop now, he would probably regenerate most of that in one go. I'm going to stop the car just to let him fire some more laser shots. I'm not going to stop firing, I'm just going to keep firing another couple of laser shots. Because the other thing with lasers is they work like car rifles. In the, you know, the bad guys, if they're being shot in the front with a laser repeatedly, is they will swerve out of the way. That's exactly what happens with car rifles. You shoot someone 2 rounds with a car rifle, 2 rounds with a car rifle, that's it, they're then swerving out of the way. They do not like being hit with them, just because they're so accurate. And the other thing is, when you're being hit at such an extreme range, that has a bigger impact on their morale, because they can't even fire back at you at that kind of range. And it's obviously the same for the mortars, because they're hitting at huge ranges. There you go. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars slightly damaged that turn. Let's see what his armour's down to. I'm guessing the laser missed that round, which is just about typical. Yeah, full purple now. 164 metres. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep driving away, keep blasting away with that laser, and then what I'll do is when they get a bit closer, he will actually run up and join the rest. There you go, more damage, and you can see this creeping napalm barrage. It's moving this way because that's the direction that the napalm car's moving in. If I was to move him this way, it would move more straight, or I can maybe, you know, retarget over here. But to be honest, moving this way is just perfect because that's going to cut this corner off. Let's just check these guys. I'm going to assign some rocket launcher targets. Yeah, I'm not even going to think about firing yet, but you know, get your aiming bonus in early. Napalm hitting, laser hits, there you go, first internal damage, minor concussion, reels as a calf is grazed, and minor concussion. And that's, you know, they're not even in range yet. Let's check this guy out, he's down to 7 front armour now, after, you know, just 2 laser hits. He was lucky to be missed by 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a turn out, but I'm also going to start moving away. Turn these guys a bit sharper now. Seem to have been forgetting slightly about them. There we go. Heavy concussion, yeah. Oh, blast perforates somebody's lung, minor concussion, and another grazed by shrapnel. But you know, this poor little car is, yeah, no bottom armour, he's not looking very well now. Now, I paused, so I should have had a bit of reach. Yeah, he had quite a bit of recharge, so I'm going to start firing again and move on. And I'm hoping I'm going to get into my setup position very soon. Yep, this poor little car, he's down to 3 front armour now. What range is he at now? He's at 130 metres, but my car cannon, has got a little bit of purple now as well. So I'm going to open fire with a car cannon, and that will probably knock out that first car. Which, you know, is not a bad position to be in when they're not even in a position to fire at me yet. Okay, my car cannon missed, but you know, and he's turned, so I'm now hitting his sides. More concussions. You know, and they haven't even reached my napalm field yet. There you go, my car cannon is now at 50% chance to hit now. Well, sorry, not 50% chance to hit, but he's got quite a good shot. So he's more than likely to hit now. My mortars have now emptied, so let's reload them. And what I like to do is, if I need to retarget, I would retarget now while they're reloading. Just saves you wasting a turn of, you know, fire later on. I'm actually going to target. Yeah, I'm going to target this guy because he's going to come at me, and he's possibly a threat a bit later on. So let's just get him kind of softened up a little bit. Rocket launchers, 116 metres, but he's going to open fire now. Probably not going to hit, but his miss might hit somebody else. Car cannon missed again, rocket launcher missed, and missed. Look at that, massive booster on his aiming to rockets now. You know, he had no purple at all, and you know, he's got about a third now. And he's up to what they call a reasonable chance of hitting, and a reasonable chance of hitting. His line of sight might prevent him hitting, but and as you can see, he's got yellow. He's scared already. They're getting a little bit stressed, and this is the bravest guy I own. He's got 41 stress, just because he's massively outnumbered. Let's get these guys set up. Just getting a message from Crack saying it's 5 hours later and his night is just turned into his dawn. So obviously he's off to bed. But fair play to the guy, playing Darkwind till 4 or 5 in the morning. Kind of, yeah, that's enough. Now I'm going to switch his target because he is coming at me and my line of sight is just totally blocked. So what I want to do is shoot somebody on the far side. Let's keep these guys moving. Let's keep him moving. Just replying to reply to Crack. Oh. Okay, back to the game at hand. There you go, see, this guy, he's turned all the way around and deciding to run away after those laser hits. I don't really want to leave this car out all on his own, but let's switch to the quick draw. Might get a couple of hits on him. And let's slow these guys down. to just move one of these guys out of the way slightly. Let's get this rocket launcher again. No chance of hitting, but let's just fire him for the splash damage. He's damaged himself. Ah dear. What a professional. And this is why he's got such high courage, because he does more damage to himself than the enemy do to him. Anybody who knows me and knows my BPUs tend to have a short life expectancy. They get trashed all over the place, which is why I was quite happy to try and loot this one, because it's always nice to have a spare or three. Damaged his left side then, but he's starting to get a chance to hit, so I'm just going to keep firing. Let's face it, rocket launcher ammo, easy to come by. Let's get these back into formation. Yeah, just a little obscured there with the line of sight. It's a real shame. But again, this is causing bad guys to swerve and try and take him on. And you know, he's not a great high combat rating. So the more guys he can pull away, you know, leaves you the greater firepower against fewer enemies. You know, any of you who play Warhammer, or you know, Warhammer 40k or anything like that, know if you can tie up a greater number of squads with a fewer number of units that have got a lower rating, you're going to dominate somewhere else on the battlefield. There you go, he's just backing up now. I think he's going to give up trying that, because he's not getting anywhere. Stop fire. Now what I could do is I could scroll right down and check his line of fire. As you can see, I can't see anything. Maybe I could hit somebody over there, but what I'll do is I will reposition him to about here and try and shoot anybody in that kind of area. Let's make sure he stops firing. He has. Let's stop firing him, and let's kind of almost reform. Okay. Brilliant. Now that's just been the first, 20 turns. Now for some reason he's continuing to fire. I obviously didn't turn them both off. I've got myself in a fairly, good position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop there, and then I'll show you the rest of this in part 3. Thanks for watching, YouTube. See you soon.